go to rosé. But I'd love to find a nice dry rosé amongst the family wineries, because those are the wines we don't see up here in Joburg. So I really think we need to somehow get, I don't know, a way to identify um, members on the site
Hmm.
as being wine farmers or wine drinkers. You know what I'm saying? So we can actually, I see we're coming online now.
We're
So
coming
we can
online, yeah, yeah.
actually really see. Let me just put this off. Um, so based with this one person, which lady from Blake Family Farms. But it would be nice if we can maybe even, I know on the page, when you actually have a group, you can actually have um, a documentation page on the side. I
Hmm.
just need to go and have a look on the managing of a page or a group. There's a way that you can actually add documents. So
Okay.
if I can go to documents and I can say I can find who are the wine makers in this group. So I can actually be able to sort of go to each one of them and ask them a question. Um, and then that will actually sort of liven up some conversation, because I would like, one of my questions is, I will go to guys and say, okay, fine, I am a Blanc de Noir fan.
Hmm.
I like it really for my allergies. It's light, but it still gives me body that, and it doesn't have this acidity for me when a white wine has. So
Okay.
I can actually talk to those guys and they can teach me, because I'm an absolute novice. I'm a great drinker, but I'm a novice when it comes to knowledge. And I hope that we can, by helping the wine farmers, we can learn at the same time. And just before we started tonight, I've got a neighbor in the complex. He's 88 and she's 82, but really sprightly old couple. I chatted to them about the site. I told them about how excited I am that I'm actually talking to um, small family-owned wineries. And she said, "Oh, that would be nice to try their wines," because she's a red wine drinker. So she's already saying, "I'm into that wine club already." So it's just a case of each person just has to just spread the word, and it will go. And I'm also thinking that from, I don't know how you guys fit in, but from a small boutique family farm, your expenses to send through a distributor, you obviously lose quite a bit of your income, because the distributor actually, in a way, wants their cut. So maybe if people like us who actually have now formed a group through this group gets a certain discount in order for us to actually be able to pay for the shipping of the stuff up to Joe, for example. It just those little things we need to look at to see that they score, we score, everybody score, and the distributors are only really interested in like the normal big fellows and the macros, and we want the little family farms who's going to give us something that we can't normally get in a bottle store.
That's quite interesting. So your suggestion is okay. That's great. So where are you getting your wine at the moment? What do you do? How do you get wine?
It's like if I look, normally I'll go to macro, I'll go to, if it's like Friday afternoon and I'm run out. I don't. We live in small places up here in Joburg. So I've got like a little 18 bottle wine thingy, and I don't necessarily buy 18 at a time. I'll go and buy maybe 6 bottles at a time. But for during the week, I will buy my go-to wine. But what I would like to do, coming to flowing out of this, is the thought that we can. Okay, as I said, we form like a little wine club.
Mm-hmm.
I will get 12 people or 18 people in my area. Quite a few of the people that I've invited from my group is also in my community. I know will probably was that each one of us order. Say for example, we go to one family farmers at a fund. I want,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't do our orders through just one farm. We all choose whichever farm. And we say, okay, fine. I'm going to buy a case of 12 from this farm, but my group are into red wines, dry rosés, dry whites. We don't have sweet drinkers. Okay, so each one of us would actually buy a case. We'll do like a tasting evening. So as a
Mm-hmm.
host, you actually sort of bring one bottle, the whatever, you taste the ones and you say, I actually like that one. I will buy that one from you. And then they will bring their case out and I will say, oh, I will have two of yours, please. And then we do that maybe once a month, and that's 12 cases once a month from every small little cluster. You understand how I'm
Yeah,
trying to get to it?
it sounds like an idea. I think it
It's
might work.
but I okay, okay. Only thing is, what is the shipping of a case of wine from Cape Town to Joburg?
See, that depends on what type of courier you're using. I think it can be anything from 75 rand to over 100 rand a case, depending on and if you're shipping more, obviously it's less expensive. But I think shipping costs will come down now with
No,
yes.
I think the whole idea is that each person is like, I will choose my red or my whatever, because I will now be able to have a conversation with the winemaker and say, this is what I like, or whatever. Can you tell me more? It's, for example, reds. And as I said, I'm a novice. I used to belong to wine club and I was pretty knowledgeable. But you know what? You get to a point where you actually sort of, you just drink the wine because you drink the wine. But you actually get to a point where you say, okay, fine. For example, the red wine. I like my blends. I love Cabernet. I love Merlot. I love the Cabernet Merlot blend. I looked. There was a Voynier, whatever, you know what, one of those new
Yeah.
breed of blends. Um, and the moment I see too many sweet things in it, I think, oh, it's no, because it brings me back to a Riesling or a Chenin Blanc, which is a little bit fruity and sweetish, like sweet alcohol.
Okay.
So the nice thing is that if you actually can speak to the winemaking, example, I will use my rosé, my Blanc de Noir. I would use as my go-to Blanc de Noir. I'll do a Porcupine Ridge, probably a Wolfstrap. And I think there's one other, and those are my go-to Blanc de Noirs. So I would like for the family farms to say to me, okay, fine, I think our wine is close to a Porcupine Ridge. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll try it this month. Send me a box. We do a wine evening, and if people like it, they like it. If not, I will have the 12 bottles. And then next month, we'll do a red one. Well, but just remember, say, for example, you, me, and Marlene, and everybody else. Is Marlene still there? Marlene?
Marlene is
She
still here,
disappeared.
but no, Marlene is still here, but she is not talking, but she is still there.
But why? Because I'm talking too much.
No, I think because
Yeah. No, the whole idea
she
is
hasn't actually talked at all because I think that she might not be able to get a mic on or something. I think that is the
a
problem.
word in. Okay, okay. But so you see what I'm trying to say is that I think from this side can actually. Okay. By the way, you know that I'm in marketing. In any case,
You mentioned
this,
that,
this
yeah.
my day job is
What do you market?
my. I work for a company who happens to do online training for auditors and accountants.
Okay.
we've been working on it for about 2 years. We've recently launched a new online site similar to Udemy, where we have experts. I think people like some of the winemakers can actually do like winemaking courses and stuff like that. And but that's something we can discuss down the line. But marketing is marketing. It's a case of you keep a client happy, you sell their products, and you find ways for them that's unusual or different to what they're doing at the moment to sell what they have. Oh, you've changed the picture. I just realized you've changed the Prohibition virtual wine bar picture.
I did. I telling people that they need to come on. So if there's anybody out there listening and you want to come join Yvonne and I, we're sipping wine and we're talking here about the situation in the country, and Yvonne is giving us 2 cents about getting wine in Joburg. So come talk to us. We just ready here to listen to you guys.
Okay, if you say the news feed came on, um, is there any chance that we can just repost on the site to say that we're back up and running and sorry, whatever,
We've
whatever?
already
Let me quickly
I've
have a.
I've already WhatsApp somebody to do that. But
Okay,
if you can post on the
okay,
site as well, it would be great because then more people will pick it up. If you can do that quickly, that would be nice.
I will do that. Just a quick thing is I think okay. I know we're talking about SA wines, but we have to okay. I think that one post about the KWV Crux Gin was a really good post as well. That we actually let people know that yes, it's wine, but the winelands don't only make wine. We make sherry, we make okay, which is a kind of wine, but we make brandy. We do make gin. We do make all of these other things as well, and those exports are as important as wine. It's just that the South African wine industry is the established known factor. Um, the South African gin market, for example, is that brandies are also of world class, and it is. It's still a fortified wine, isn't it?
Yeah,
Am I wrong? Right? What? Yeah.
yeah,
So we actually need to let people understand that we talk wine because it is the winelands of South Africa, but other products as well. So if you are a brandy drinker, you're still welcome. If you're a gin drinker, you're still welcome. I'm dying for a gin maker to please join the group because I don't know if I've told you that okay, how many people are listening?
I've got no idea how many people are listening, but I tell you what, this video will go out on the group, so potentially 40 to
Okay.
50,000.
Now I happen to have a person who is an amazing distiller, and I've been since the first lockdown been purchasing gin and vodka from this person. And what I've done, because in the first lockdown I got so sick of gin because as a wine drinker, and I think you may feel for me, I don't like sweetness when I drink. I like that muskiness in my mouth after a good glass of red or rosé or even a white. And gin, the best way to drink gin is with a tonic.
Hmm.
And after how long was the first ban? 2 months.
2 months, yeah.
I was so sick. I was so sick of sweet stuff. So when the ban when the ban was lifted, I bought up as much gin and vodka as I could, and I started infusing them with weird stuff.
What did you tell us?
And
How did you
we are gonna
infuse
have
this?
our
What did you do?
Basically, what it is I get a liter of gin
Hmm.
and I put it in a glass bottle because obviously, if you're going to infuse something, it's got to be glass because plastic will actually absorb the flavors. And I literally just Googled and I've written down all my little recipes. My first one was strawberries and basil. And what it does, the gin literally leaches out all the color and the flavor out of the strawberries. And for me, it's because once again, I'm not a sweet drinker, and one of my best friends doesn't do strawberries, so I added the basil, and the basil just breaks the sweetness. It just breaks the berryness. The next one I did was a orange and vanilla chai tea. And what you do is you take the orange and you just literally use one of those, what do you call it, the ninja things that actually sort of peels vegetables.
Oh yeah.
I did you take the peel off and you throw that in, and all the recipes with tea, but maybe because I'm not a big tea fan, I don't like the tannin in tea, even if it's not a black tea. So every time there's a tea in a recipe, I literally infuse it for like half the time. I like the fruit to just be a little bit stronger than the tea, so you don't get that weird taste. Then I've got a blue raspberry and no blueberry with lavender and lemon. Beautiful. Clarity is amazing. Taste is amazing. The one so far that's been the best for me is I took a vodka, a plain distilled, not even a fancy bottle, and I added 1 pot of vanilla. Okay, the vanilla is very expensive. So I actually just take the vanilla pot
Yeah. Hello.
have we lost you? Almost,
Yeah,
almost.
I think
Okay.
we lost about.
Now, anyway,
You
so
said
I don't know where you lost me, but what
that's what
I do is
I'm trying
the
to
vanilla
tell.
pot is
You said the vanilla
it's
was very
quite
expensive. Okay.
you, you're breaking up. Well,
I can hear you. You can talk.
you, yeah, okay. A vanilla pot, vanilla bean. So what I've done is I stuck it in a bottle of vodka and I just keep shaking it every day. And I've decided I'm going to get every single flavor out of that vanilla bean, and it really is so amazing. So much so that I did one gin infusion with rose leaves, but my roses were really at the end of the season. Few red roses because you actually need the really fragrant organic. And I added a few pink, and it actually it did influence my color a bit. And I added a couple of drops of rose water, and you can taste it, but some of it more. And I decided yesterday I was just going to put like a half a pot of. But we're having our first tasting on Monday. Okay, then what? There's another one. I had a grapefruit and lemongrass gin.